coloring viewers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. In today's video, I am going to be sharing my favorite completed pages in 2024. This will be my top 10 and a couple honorable mentions. I'm filming this in mid to late December. It's the week before Christmas. So if I by chance do color something in the next couple weeks at the end of 2024 that feels top 10 worthy, I'll be sure to let you know. But this is my top 10 favorite pages, at least year to date, as we round out. We're, getting towards the end of the year. In fact, you will see, if you follow the adult coloring community on YouTube, that there are some content creators who have already posted a 2024 year in review. And I will also be doing something inspired by those videos. I believe there's about 24 questions, one of which is a top 10 coloring pages. So I'll be thinking of that in an upcoming video, but I felt like this just needed to be kind of separated out because that could be a really long video to incorporate kind of all of those topics. And I think it'd be great just to share top favorite pages, my favorite pages. So here's kind of a spread of the books that they're coming from. Hopefully none of my page tags are going to fall out. Let's just jump right into it. And these are going to be in no particular order. I would say it wasn't too difficult for me to pull these because I don't color a ton. So I kind of knew already what was going to make my top 10. So let's start with Fairy Tales and Folklore. So this is the gorgeous re-release, illustrated by Emily Liedel Oberg, that came out this year. And I recently completed this one in November using watercolor as a base. And it's it's the watercolor set from Artistro that I hauled this year, and covered that with Prismacolor on top and added a little bit of gel pen. And I didn't mess with the background because I actually thought this looked gorgeous enough on its own. I was really pleased with how this turned out. Of course, it's just gorgeous artwork. So I expected no less. So that's one in my top 10. All right, again, it's a struggle. Where am I putting my books? Okay, here we go. I have a favorite from this book, Color Me Love, 50 Adorable Coloring Pages, which is from Cider Mill Press. There's a whole line of these types of books. I have the Halloween. There's also a Christmas. There's a Caballera. How do you say it? Caballera. That I know a lot of folks have. But this was at the beginning of the year when I was getting back into my coloring journey, I guess you'd say, or hobby. I bought this back in January, February. When does it say? Oh, January. So I completed this January 28th, and it was before my YouTube channel, before my Instagram, before Amy Katz Colors, and I just really love how this one turned out, and I didn't overthink it. I didn't do a ton of different things. I just actually used Crayola colored pencils and then some stickles here on the champagne. This is based with a glitter metallic gel pen over top the pencil and then some stickles. So, and I did a little bit of shading the way that I was doing shading at the time, which was to really just use hard then soft pressure. Like I would vary the pressure of how hard I was, you know, coloring to create a little bit of shading versus doing 2 or 3 different colors like I do now. I try to do a couple different colors with the exception of the flame on this candle, because I do see where it's orange and yellow. So, but everything else is just varying the pressure. And I just really love the artwork in here. That was another one that I really liked, but I really enjoyed doing it. So yeah, it's this one. All right. This is another page that I completed really early in the year, and it is in Joanna Basford's Small Victories. And I did a few pages in this book this year, but I really love this one, how this one turned out. And I did this back in February using all Prismacolor and Jelly Roll gel pen for the outline. And again, I think I was doing just the shading using, you know, hard to soft pressure. So, but you can see, I mean, it looks really good, even just doing it that way. That's how I shaded for a really, really long time. And I still like to use that technique. It does make it a little bit easier when you only have, you know, one color to worry about. So, Small Victories. By the way, if I'm sounding tired, it's because I am. You guys saw it's like 10:30 at night. I'm getting pretty tired and my voice is starting to reflect that. But we are taking a little trip this weekend, and so I want to make sure I had time to film at least one short video. All right, the next one of my favorite pages this year was in Gabby Wolf's Mini Mania, Volume 1, and this is a group color project. What do you call this? A group project book that had been featured in a couple different places. And so one of the ones that I did for that was this one back in May of the carrot farming. And I really just like how my sunset turned out. For me doing it for the first time, I really liked how it turned out. I was pretty proud of myself. And I only used Prismacolor with some gel pen on the border, on the outline. So, and I really enjoy coloring in Mini Mania and had a lot of fun. I didn't participate every month this year, but I did like 2 or 3. And I really love how all of them turned out. I did at least 3, so it's like 3 or 4 actually. And who is this? I'm going to pop it up on the screen because I can't remember which group was doing this, so I apologize. But when I'm editing and I go back and look, I'll share. Mini Mania had to include, and there's going to be 2, Hannah Carlson. So she's one of my favorite illustrators, artists. Kirby's another one. Kirby didn't make it to my top 10 just because I didn't color much Kirby this year. And I started the year coloring Kirby. I wouldn't say it's my finest work, but I do like the page that I did. But hoping to color in more Kirby next year. But anyway, this one is in Tales from the Witch's Cottage from Hannah Carlson. And it's the only page that I've colored in here so far. And it is this one. Oh, with the potion and the beetle, with candles on the beetle. And I really liked how this one turned out. This was a limited color palette that I was inspired by one of the hashtags in October for. I actually finished this one on Halloween. And Coloring with Kate, or Kate's Coloring Haven, can't remember which, sorry, again, I'll post it up here, had started this recently, a couple months ago, as a project book. So I really like how it turned out. I love taking the black acrylic paint pen even though it's really, it would seem pretty tedious. I really, you know, enjoyed that sort of thing going, because it did have a fine tip. I used the, reach for it. I used the Arteza black, and I really enjoyed doing that. I did that first. And then kind of Prismacolor for the rest, and some Jelly Roll Gel pen. Yeah. Another from Hannah. The other Hannah Carlson photo that made it to my top 10 favorite pages this year was in Magical Dawn. And again, it's the only page so far that I've done in Magical Dawn. Because keep in mind, I was getting back into coloring this year, and I was trying to catch up on a lot of books that I didn't have or didn't know existed, because I hadn't been watching a whole lot on the coloring community on any of the socials until like the first part of this year, back in January. So yeah, this was one of them. And I completed this page back in March. And it's on the simpler side, but I was very intimidated by these books and wanted something simpler to start with. And so that's why I chose this one, and I really like how it turned out with a little bit of shading. And I used the Tim Holtz Distress inks and a stencil to do the background. I did the stencil, and then I also just took the I forget what you call it, but the applicator sponge to just kind of do it. Almost kind of looks like a blush effect with the other like orangey color. So hopefully this is you can see all the detail there, but I really love this one, and I'm looking forward to coloring more. That's Magical Dawn. Okay, I had this book for a really long time, but had never completed a page in it until this year. My daughter had colored in it a couple times. I had used it as I had tested a couple things in here before, but this year I was able to get one done, and it was a buddy color. Oh, now I lost my page as my tag came out, but we did this one back in, looks like I finished it September 1st, and I really love how this one turned out. This was a color palette that I just looked up online for inspiration for kind of like a little jungle-y. I knew I wanted a bunch of greens and yellow, and I love how it turned out. And actually this background here behind the tree in the book is just Prismacolor colored pencil. This whole thing is just Prismacolor. That's it. That is it. And I just think she's so pretty. I love it. Love it so much. So that's Magical Jungle. Okay, let me go to this one next, because we're getting close to the end of the top 10. This was my first mythographic book this year, Crystal Kingdom from Veronica Kolinska. I really love this book. It's gorgeous. It came out, either end of last year or earlier this year. Why don't I just flip to it and I could tell you. But maybe it doesn't say. But I did this one earlier this year. It says 2024, copyright 2024. So I have a whip in here still from Space Timber, but I did complete this one back in April. And it's of the octopus on the Crystal Palace, Crystal Castle. And hopefully you get all the detail here. I used glossy accents on all of the gemstones. And for the castle, I tried to make some of the panels like a blue, and I did a little bit of pink, and then I covered the whole thing with Wink of Stella, like the clear one. And it'll be hard probably to see all of that, but then I took and did some stickles where it had like a couple different starbursts that were already on the page. This is based with alcohol marker, a Hoo-Hoo alcohol marker. In the background, I used a Jelly Roll gel pen, metallic gel pen for like the different panels of the crystal. And then I went back over everything to shade with Prismacolor. But I love how this turned out. I really love this page, and I love this book. So it's the only thing that I've colored in a mythograph. This is my first and only. No, it's not, because I just got the Artist Vault, which I'm anxious to color in. And then I don't know if it counts, but what do you call it? The Mythogoria. I do have a Mythogoria that I'll be coloring in soon. Yep, there's that one. And then my last two favorite pages in my top 10 completed pages for 2024 are in A Million Kawaii Cuties from Lulu Mayo. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Oh, that's too much. And I'm sorry, I'm showing the base of my tripod today. Hopefully that's okay and you guys don't mind. I love coloring in this book. I have since purchased, this is my first Lulu Mayo. I have since purchased a couple more. I have baby animals and cute monsters. Is that what it's called? Hold on. Well, look real quick. Little Monsters. A Million Little Monsters. And I've not colored in them yet, sad to say, but this is another one where I get intimidated and like not sure, like it's hard for me to start, but then once I do, I'm really satisfied with the way that the pages look. So the first one that I did in here was this one back in March, again, very early on and before getting the channel going and all that. And again, didn't really know a ton about techniques or anything like that. Shading, just used a lot of Prismacolor, but then I had purchased the Kuretake metallic watercolors, and there's a little bit of that on here, like the pearlescent ones. And then some Jelly Roll gel pen is on here as well. And then I took some inexpensive watercolor to do the like table and the background here. And then flicked the brush to get like a splatter effect. And I really loved how this one turned out. I was really satisfied with it. The other one that I did in here that I really liked back in August is this one. Similar techniques, same supplies. This is kind of like the back to school inspired page. And for my colors, I chose the school colors for my daughter's middle school, which are like blues and gray, and then the colors for my son's high school, which are purple and orange. So yeah, I was really excited about that one. Okay, so that's Million Kawaii Cuties. That's my top 10. Really love those pages. As I said, I was just getting back into coloring this year. I'm also so limited on my supplies and whatnot. You hear a lot of Prismacolor. I do have Ohuhu alcohol markers, but I'm starting to branch out and get other things. I'm pretty satisfied with the things that I have, though, in all honesty. But my honorable mention, I just wanted to talk about my favorite pages in the Camellia Angel Cova books, which my favorites in the pages that I've done are both in this book, 50 Vacation Miniatures. It's one of my favorite books by her. I discovered Camellia this year and I got 3 this summer. And then I got the Halloween, so I think I might just have 4, but I really, really love them. And I really liked how this one turned out that I did back when we were on vacation in July. It's pretty simple, but I think because when I did the Wink Stella on the fins, it just added such a really cool effect. And again, yeah, you can definitely see it on camera. I just thought that added a lot to the page. So So really liked that one. And then the other one that I really liked, again, I know it's really simple. Another one from the beach that I started before we left the beach. Just because of the color selection. I just thought it was really cool. Like the whole kind of like red, white, and blue. There's a little bit of shading, some Posca pen for highlighting, but I really liked this one and how it turned out. So you see, I don't do a ton with the backgrounds yet or anything like that. I don't spend a ton of time embellishing, but I do like adding some shading and some highlighting. So yeah, I thought I'd mention those because I have a few. Now, if I had to pick other honorable mentions of just things that I've enjoyed coloring the most this year, I would also include R.J. Hampson and Morgan O'Brien. There's been a ton of stuff that I've been coloring in their books that I've really enjoyed as well. So, but I think that's going to do it. Those are my top pages that I completed so far in 2024. Of course, we only have a couple more weeks left. So I'm really looking forward to next year and some of the books that are coming out in 2025, and excited to see what you all have been coloring and what your favorites are and your thoughts and reflections on 2024. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't checked me out already, I am also on Instagram as Amy Katz Colors. And my YouTube channel has been around since about July of this year, and I have some videos posted, different types of things. So please go and check me out. Like the video if you liked it, and add a comment. Let me know how I'm doing, what you liked, which of my favorite pages was your favorite page. Let me know that, and then I will catch you in the next video. Thanks. Bye, everybody.